In this episode, I've teamed up with Wren. Wren is a website where you can calculate your carbon footprint, and then offset it by funding a diverse mix of carbon reduction projects like tree planting and rainforest protection. As you know, throughout our daily lives, we emit harmful CO2 emissions, which contribute to climate change. So we can definitely do more to decrease these harmful emissions. Through this sponsorship with Wren, Wren will plant 10 trees for the first 100 people who sign up through the referral link in the description below. If you care about our world, living sustainably, and want to help fund climate solution projects, check out Wren. One of Wren's projects I'm particularly interested in is biochar in California. This project helped prevent wildfires in California's old growth forest by removing dead and flammable trees. They then use a cutting-edge process to turn the tree biomass into biochar, keeping carbon out of the air for thousands of years. This way it prevents wildfires, permanent carbon storage. It's based in California and promotes biodiversity. Check out their other projects through the link in the description below. Alright guys, so welcome back to another episode of the boat project, but it's not an episode where I'm just going to answer some questions from you guys that you left on previous videos. So I went over the last two recent videos, episode 20 and 19, and so yeah, I took some comments, we made a list of them here, and I'm going to answer them for you today, give you a bit more history on the boat itself, and yeah, you'll learn a bit more about me as well. And a lot of you have requested about it, so I thought, why not? Let's do it. While I'm away working on another personal project, doing a small bit of teaching, stock footage teaching. So yeah, this is the perfect opportunity to do it now while it's winter, and it's a great way to start the new year. You learn a bit more about my channel, about me, and yeah, so it'll be good fun. And then in the near future, come springtime, I'll be back in the boat and uploading episodes as usual. So bear with me guys while we go through the next few months, and while I lack content like the usual episodes that I'm putting together. So I do apologize for not being consistent, but you know, we have to also work on other things. We have to be able to juggle those. So in good time, we will be back in the boat, and we'll be back as productive as ever. Let's see, so we have a question from Cardiff Boat Angler, who says, hello, I'm curious why you use the material and glue to seal exterior roofs. Why not just fiberglass and resin? Is it traditional? Love the channel. So yes, what you're referring to, of course, is the canvas, the double duck canvas, waterproof canvas. I mean, it's obviously not waterproof at the beginning until you lay it down, and then you do your, then you apply your coats of paint, your undercoat, and then your exterior top coats to actually waterproof it and weather seal it. But so I chose to go with this because obviously it was, one, affordable and not as costly as fiberglass and resin, which is just a crazy amount of money. Of course, all of them have their pros and cons, and you know, it's just whatever is your personal preference. Again, this is something I never done any work with. This is, you know, I'm learning as I go here, and as you can see what happened with my varnish job that failed unfortunately on the roof, but we learn from our mistakes and we move on, and we then apply that knowledge to the next thing, or to our life. But so yes, so I went to double duck canvas, and underneath I use this gesso art glue, and this is the very good stuff to use. And the art of boat building, that's who I got the idea of. As you can see, I spoke about this in my older channel, my older episode. So it did the job well, and as you can see, it's still holding up. I had my father check on it a few days back, and it's still holding strong. And no craziness is happening, no mold or anything like that is happening on the top of it, on the roof. So we're on the straight and narrow, and I'm happy with that. Hayward Hart, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Nice work, young man. After you're done working on the boat, are you still going to do videos? Really hope you do. Yes, of course. Many people have asked me this, and of course I'm going to keep producing videos while I'm living on the boat, and we'll move around and do different more filmmaking. We'll also do more lifestyle videos, and yeah, it's going to be very exciting. And of course, we have a long road to go. We still have to do installation in the interior of the boat. We have to do the fit out. So all this is going to take time. So a lot more content for the next coming months and years. Gilles Gomez. Fixing such an old wooden boat is not an easy task, but you are doing a great job. There is so much to do. You have a roadmap. Do you have a roadmap? I guess after the boat structure, you will have to cope with the mechanics and all the electronic wirings and systems. You know, this is something that's going to take some time, of course, and I have a great uncle my uncle is great expertise in this field, and he's definitely going to be able to help me with this, and I'm excited to show his work. A different uncle, not Peter, and not the master craftsman, a different uncle of mine, and I'm excited to get him on board, no pun intended, and also he's got incredible knowledge on solar panels, on wiring. He's the man for the job, and I'm going to learn a lot, and I'm excited to learn from him. So Mazda RX-7, what do you consider a hard winter over there? Around here, it's over 6 foot of snow and minus 30 degrees Celsius temperatures. Yeah, so I'm giving out a lot about the cold, and I'm complaining about the Irish winter, a lot of rain, and it doesn't really consist of too much snow. So you guys have it hard. I've got nothing to complain about. But yeah, in return, I have nothing to complain about, really. Vic Tanner Productions, do you have drawings of the planned layout for the inside of the boat you can share or talk us through? So I have no plans of the interior of the boat, nothing from record, and this is another thing about the history. We have very little history, pretty much no history of this particular boat, my boat, and so I am waiting to hear back, and I must follow up again because it's been a long time since I heard back from, heard anything from this researcher, from a museum in Northern Ireland. So a lot of these boats are based in Northern Ireland, being, you know, from the Royal Air Force and used during World War II. Excuse my phone, what a rookie filmmaker, he didn't turn off his phone. But so I believe they were around Lough Neagh, and so we'll definitely get more info on that, guys, and that'll be another episode. I want to do an episode just on the history of my particular boat, and get that out there as a full kind of short documentary piece. It's strange also, there's no hull number. We cannot see any hull markings or number identification in the boat. It should be inside, and it's not. I mean, it's not like it's been painted over or anything, you know, you still see, but very unusual. So we have to find out more for sure, and I'm excited to find out more. You're going to be doing a lot of sanding, so you should invest in a sander. Keep up the great work, Victoria Ann Scotto says. Yeah, so I actually have a very good sander. I don't know how you didn't spot that, but I have a very old Makita belt sander, and it's heavy. I mean, it'll build your muscles just using it. But it's incredible. It's my father's, and I've taken care of it well. Now that I think of that, has fallen into the river twice, and we've stripped it, cleaned it, dried it, and it works 100% like new, just like it did before it fell in. It's incredible. Like, what a rookie mistake again. You know, a belt sander, belt side down on the deck of the boat, plug it in, straight into the water, quickly plug out the switch, and hope you don't get electrocuted. But yeah, so it goes to show you what such a good sander it is, and I believe you can find them on eBay, anywhere else like that. You're not going to find this model new, but it's the right job. It's the right job. Keeps you fit, so no complaints. Lawrence Harding says, it's great to see someone using the old tools, chisels and spoke shaves instead of all the power tools. More power to your shoulder, lad. I am an old git of 84 years and used to maintain an old clinker built boat. Personally, I would always steam bend my timbers as they will be stronger. Still, I think yours will be okay. Keep up the good work. And yeah, so I really love using the old tools, of course, and there's something about it, just working with the tools like that, with the timber, it's very nice. But and as well, it's how my uncle works, you know, incredible. Again, learning as I'm going, you know, I'm not trying to say I'm a professional or anything like that, guys, and I'm not by any means, you know, but I'm learning as I'm going, and it's incredible to see the progress I've made when I look back and I see your comments of motivation as well. It's absolutely incredible, and I love that motivation. So I thank you guys for the support and the lovely comments as well. They don't go unseen, but yeah, so Yes, I've never actually bent steam bent timbers. I've never done it. I've seen my uncle do it, and I know he does it a lot. For the inner gunnel, we didn't go with that in the end. We were able to do it without, and I think it didn't take away from the strength too much. Of course, you've got your pros and cons to that, to steam bending and to not steam bending. But for sure, it's definitely something I want to try my hand at, and definitely I will be. I'm going to be doing that if I'm going to be working with my uncle in the next couple months. So, where do you sleep? It is going to be very satisfying to see the hole repaired. Yes, for sure. I can't wait to be living in the boat cozy, and already I've been sleeping in the boat. So it's really rewarding to finally reach that stage where, yes, it was rough. It was not super comfortable or anything like that. It was rough, but I had the fire going and it was nice. I mean, I don't have to have a 5-star hotel to feel comfortable. I'm happy when I have a warm bed and a roof over my head, and these are the most important things, guys. It will be toasty warm in the winter with the stove on. Some good progress on repair work. 2 thumbs up. Yes, DC Allen. And thank you for the support. It definitely will be. And when I will spend a full winter in there, it will certainly, I will reap the rewards of my labor, and reap the fruits of your labor. Yes. But yeah, it definitely is something to look forward to. Terry, wow, what a cool freaking job. Just the work alone, amazing. Certainly, it is a cool freaking job. If you love the work and the process, it's not a job at all, you know. And that's what I'm learning more and more, and I remind myself as I'm working on the boat. And yeah, it certainly is, guys. Larry Smith, your boat must have had an engine refit at some point, as I'm sure those stern drive V6s weren't available in 1940. The Volvo Penta engine drives are of excellent quality, durable and long life, but very expensive to repair. I hope you can still find parts if you need them. Yes, this is something I've been considering also. Yeah, maybe the parts are going to be expensive, but I think we will not have a problem too much. My father is a mechanic in the family. I'm not a mechanic by any means, or I cannot say I have knowledge of working on cars, very small amount, but this is something, again, I'm excited to, and looking forward to working alongside my father and learning from him, and picking his brains on the mechanics end of things, and repairing the engines. So he's pretty confident he'll get one up and running. Again, even just running 2 of those Volvo Pentas is going to be a hefty price to put petrol in them, and I think I want to move away from petrol, and we'll figure out something in the near future. Maybe we'll go with electric engines. Imagine how cool that would be. But that would be in the distant future. But definitely getting one up and running for the time being. The engines have been lying up for many years, not ran, but my father did insulate them with like sleeping bags, things like this. They had been away in an engine room. But yes, they will definitely have seen damage, and everything has to be, oil has to be changed, have to be stripped. But let's see, that's a stage that we'll get to soon enough. This episode is already 14 minutes long. I am thinking I'll answer 1 or 2 more, and then we'll cut it at that, and we'll leave it for another episode because it is very long. So, MC549, seeing this young chap at work on the old boat reminds me of what I was doing 40 years ago. Repairing an old motor launch to use on the River Severn. My methods and workmanship were on a similar level to this. However, the boat was effectively saved by my efforts. She would have been burnt by the boatyard in 1982 and is still around today, being cared for and restored near Evesham. So don't knock this young man's efforts to make his boat into a usable vessel for his own enjoyment. And wow, that's thank you so much for the comment, MC549, and incredible. These are really heartwarming comments. When I see these, it makes me, it just gives me the motivation to keep going, you know. And I love to hear the history, and to hear what other project, like to hear the work of others. They're exactly like what yourself, no more than yourself. And it's incredible to see that there's like-minded people out there working on other projects. And it really, really motivates me. And to hear the history, incredible, heartwarming stuff. And then there's another comment by Mohammed Reza underneath. I love your attitude and works. I'm sure lots of young people will learn from you. Keep on doing your job. God bless you. Thank you, Mohammed, also for that lovely comment. And yeah, so that's it. Like, I hope also that this will, and what I like to show with my narration and how I put these videos together is that it comes across natural. Nothing is polished and kind of put onto finished to a stage, or yes, a stage where it's kind of like, it seems like nearly too professional or unobtainable almost, you know. Like, so what I want to do is to be as real with you guys as possible, and to show you how it really is, and to keep it as raw as possible. So I like to do that, and to me that's very important. And it just goes to show anyone is capable of doing this work, you know. Like, I didn't think I was going to get this far in the project, you know, no matter, let alone if I was to say 4 years, 5 years later, I would see this progress. And yeah, you know, to some people it's slow, and I understand that, but Rome wasn't built in a day. but you know, it takes time, and you learn. Like I said, if I was to see these failures in the past, and if I looked ahead and seen these failures, I wouldn't keep going, you know. And I've been at times where I felt so heartbroken over the work, seeing it all destroyed, like the roof and everything, and I was really thought I was going to lose my mind. And I just put my head down and just said, no, I got to stick at it. Nobody else is going to do the work for you, you know. And you just got to keep pushing through. You got to learn, and that's it. And it'll be so self-rewarding when you get down the road, when you do get it completed, and you look back and say, wow, it was really worth it. It was worth that blood, sweat, and tears, you know. But that's it, guys. So just remember that, and that's something I'm reminding myself every time I'm working on the boat. And when I see your comments, and I take all that motivation, and I use that to keep going, to keep pushing forward. So guys, again, thank you so much for the continued support. As always, stay productive and have fun creating. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe and click that notification icon to get notified when I upload a new episode. Thank you guys, and thank you to Wren for sponsoring this episode also.